The Bill Krell farm near Stoughton, Saskatchewan includes both cattle and grain, so there's always plenty of work to do in summer and winter. In 1986, Krell decided it was time to put up a farm shop since he needed both a work area and a heated place to store equipment that's used in the cold weather. The 14-foot high by 20-foot wide electric overhead door is big enough for larger equipment such as a tractor or a combine.
Usually every fall after I get done harvesting, the machine comes into the shop and it gives me a chance to do any repairing that I want.
The shop is a bail-in building and stands 40 feet wide by 54 feet long. Under the metal on the outside of the shop, Krell installed fiberglass insulation and a layer of plastic sheeting. As you can see, the inside of the building is also sheeted with tin. A layer of 3/8-inch plywood provides support behind the tin.
It's much more durable, and if you happen to bump into it with a piece of iron, it doesn't, dent it in. And it's for insulation and for strength as well.
Krell decided to heat the shop with an electric furnace. The inventive farmer added ductwork and baffles to the top of the furnace, which spreads the heat evenly around the building. He likes to keep the shop near 50 degrees Fahrenheit when he works here in the winter, and then turns it down to just above freezing when he leaves. When Krell looks at his shop's heating bill for a full year, it averages out to about $80 per month.
I still think that is cheap because I run my vehicles in here and I don't need to plug them in. The vehicles are always warm and they're always start.
The shop floor is sloped to a central floor drain for washing equipment, and the drain is hooked up to the nearby pit.
I have a pit here that's 3 feet wide and 6.5 feet long and 5 feet deep, and I use this for greasing my vehicles, oil change, or any services. I've also got air in the pit here. This one is if you want to plug in any air hoses, and this one here is for my air grease gun. And I can come down here and grease my vehicles. This one is my sewage pump. It's for my bathroom and also the drain I have in the floor. This is a switch for my light underneath. It's a floodlight. I can move it around. And this is 2 plug-ins for my electrical cords and for my trouble light.
Krell ran the air lines and electrical wiring through the concrete floor to get the air and electricity into the pit. He also equipped the pit with an exhaust vent.
If you have wanted to run a vehicle while you're underneath, you can just stick a hose from the motor into this pipe, and then it vents outside.
To make good use of his shop, Krell stocked it with a variety of practical tools. With the lathe and some sucker rod, he has made a variety of punches for almost any type of work. Bolts seem to always be in short supply for farmers, and Krell is no exception there. He was able to acquire a rigid thread cutter from a local blacksmith shop and uses it to cut almost any type of thread he needs. This saves him a lot of trips to town to buy bolts. At the same blacksmith shop, he bought this antique piece of drilling equipment.
I'm not sure, but it must be about a 1920 or something like that. It's a big press drill, and I can drill holes up to, I believe, 1.5 inches.
Welding is a job that's done in many farm shops, and Krell built his welding table on wheels so he can weld anywhere in the shop. The 1/2-inch thick table is about 4 feet long and 30 inches wide. Krell built a container into the table for collecting leftover metal shavings and pieces of welding rods. This keeps the hot material from damaging the floor and helps clean up the shop at the same time.
And I also can clean it out from the bottom by pulling a trap door open, and it cleans out very nice.
Part storage was a priority for Krell since he felt it was important to keep everything organized. He built a series of bolt bins around a piece of metal tubing and made the rotating bins out of sheet metal.
And underneath for rollers, I used bearings out of a drill, out of the discs. Just used ones that were wore out. Still serviceable, but not good enough for in your seed drill. And I mounted them on a bolt, and there's 4 to each section.
For metal storage, he used the plastic drawers from a set of old school desks and mounted them on tracks. Overall, Krell is pleased with his decision to build the shop and feels it has helped him run his farm more efficiently.